Excuse me for using my phone right now. I'm going to read something that I wrote last night before I went to sleep. This is concerning the recent victims of these police murders, in my opinion. And here we go. We can't breathe or sleep. So we can't walk to the store. And shop. Which means we can't come out and play. With all these neat toys. Money influences change. Let's keep ours in our pockets. Or spend it where we can take a breather. Now, what that passage means is that all those victims were shot, killed in some manner. And our public officials are not doing what they're supposed to do. So the only way that we can influence them to make change is to influence the politicians to make change. And the only way we can influence the politicians, because they have donors. These donors give money to politicians to do what they want. If we're not giving money to these donors, if we're not giving money to these politicians, if we're not giving money to these corporations, then how can these police not do what we want? Because the politicians are going to do what we want if we take away money from them, right? So that's my opinion on that. Alright. Now into other things. I'm going back to the Tamir Rice story because it's something that really interests me. I feel that this is a case that should be under heavy scrutiny because of the fact that this police officer shot this child within 2 seconds of getting out of the car. That doesn't leave any time to negotiate, tell the person to put down the gun. It doesn't leave anything. But this child, 12-year-old child, was shot because he had a BB gun. And the officer who shot him is also not fit for duty. This officer was said to have a lack of maturity, indiscretion, and not following instructions. They actually said that they did not believe that these problems that this officer had were fixable, and they were about to fire him when this officer resigned and went to another police station. Okay, so if you look into the past of the Cleveland Police Force, they have a record of being aggressive. They were already being investigated 2 years ago, and they just concluded this investigation with the findings that the police in Cleveland are using excessive force. They were violating people's Fourth Amendment rights. They were hitting people in the head with guns when it was unnecessary. They were quick to shoot people when there wasn't an imminent threat to their life. Superiors failed to investigate officers. They instead took the officer's word for things instead of looking into the problem and finding out what was going on. They kind of just had a lackluster approach to things, kind of just letting things go about and not really trying to figure out what's going on in their police departments. This is wrong. This is not how you serve the American people. If you're in service to us, then you're supposed to be in service to us, not serving yourselves or your police officers. And now back to Eric Garner. Eric Garner was killed because of excessive force. This police officer used an unauthorized choke on this man with 6 children and a wife. Now, it was said that he sold untaxed cigarettes before, but this is not a reason to kill a man, at least in my book. You don't kill a man because of untaxed cigarettes, and even in the video, there's no confirmation of this. All that you hear in this video is that this officer comes up, you hear the man with the camera saying he just broke up a fight. You hear him say this over and over and over and over and over again repeatedly. But the officer is just there to do what? Do we even know what he was arresting him for? The officer comes up and he puts him in a chokehold. He kills Eric Garner. And now they're saying that this was authorized. Up. But of course, NYPD has better things to do, right? They're investigating selfies by police officers. As you can see in these clips I'm about to show you right now. These pictures were from a Facebook page called Blue Line PD that has since been deleted. These pictures are of officers who are taking sexy selfies, right? And they're investigating this. They're seriously investigating these officers taking sexy selfies. And the main problem that they're saying is because they were wearing their uniforms. Don't we have better shit to do? I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I feel like there's better shit to be doing than investigating a fucking police officer in a fucking selfie. Because it was not authorized by you. When there are police officers killing people, you're worried about this. You're investigating this. Where the fuck are your priorities? Because I don't think they're geared towards me and the people of the United States of America. Or the people of New York City specifically. Obviously, you don't care what we want. You care about satisfying your ego and not having your officers going around putting themselves over the web. I don't give a shit about that. They can take as many selfies as they want. As long as they're not beating the shit out of people and killing unarmed people. That's the point of this. You're killing unarmed people. Is there not a better method? Is there not a better method? Is there not a better way? You need to figure out what you need to do. Because we're tired of your shit. The American people are fucking tired. Instead of looking into this police officer's past, his personnel records, they did not look at them. They let them just go under the radar. Now it has been acted in law that this has to be done. You have to look at these officers' personal records. Why? Because the Cleveland police was already being investigated for use of excessive force. This is a trend.